continuing what we did yesterday. And so it's sort of a combining yesterday's notes and today's notes. So for giggles here, I'm going to flip back a page because I just don't have room here. This is section 10.5, day 4. And today you have a homework 7 paper, arc and angle measures. So you do have paper today, and it is a challenge. It is a thinking homework today. So again, as I said, it's sort of based on what we did yesterday. It is based on what we did yesterday. So I'm just going to turn back so that we can just really quickly review. We had 3 cases yesterday. Case 1 said, I have a circle, and I have 2 chords that are intersecting inside the circle. So this is case 1. And if I want to find, say, this angle measure, which I'm going to call it, I'm not going to use an X, I'm going to use a star. So let's say I want to find this angle measure. How do I figure that out? What's the little easy formula for figuring out this angle measure? The angle is half
of the arcs.
The sum of the arcs. So it's the intercepted arcs added together. So I'm just going to do an arc plus an arc. So it's half the sum of the arcs. So that was case 1. Case 2 said we had a circle, and maybe I have a tangent line and a secant line, but the intersection of those 2 lines was on the edge of the circle. So now if I want to find, let's say, this angle measure, again I'm going to give it a star, then there's its intercepted arc. So what's the formula for that angle measure? So the angle is 1/2 of the intercepted arc. So again, that's an arc mark. All right. So that's its intercepted arc. The angle is smaller than that arc. So you got to divide the arc by 2. The third case was if we had a circle and we have maybe 2 secant lines, but they intersect outside the circle. And we, again, maybe want to find this angle measure. That angle is outside the circle. So how do we find that angle measure?
It's like the big angle minus the little angle.
Arc minus arc. It's 1/2 the far arc minus the near arc. And again, these are intercepted arcs. So it's 1/2 far arc minus near arc. Arc minus arc. There you go. So the one that's far away from the angle minus the close one. And that's really important that you get the order correct. So these are the 3 cases. Half the sum, half the arc, or the angle is half the difference of the arcs. 3 cases, and that's what we need to be able to identify today. So we did everything yesterday with mostly numbers. Today we have a lot more algebra happening. So it's really important that you write down your setup. It will help immensely, okay? So we're going to start with number 1 here. Number 1, they are giving me this angle measure, and I have information about 2 intercepted arcs. Is this case 1, case 2, or case 3? Case number 1. So the angle equals half the sum of the arcs. That's our case. So what is our angle measure? 3x plus 23 equals 1/2 of, what are our 2 arcs? 55 plus 75. The nice thing here is on this right-hand side, all of these are just numbers. So I can go ahead and put the whole thing in my calculator. So 0.5 times 55 plus 75, and I get 65. So that whole right-hand side is just 65 equals 3x plus 23. And then we can solve for x. What do we do? All right, so subtract 23, that would be 42. And then divide by 3 is 14. Great. All right, questions on that one? All right, let's look at number 4. So on number 4, they are giving me this whole arc mark goes from all the way over here to here. So they're giving me a giant arc, and they're giving me this little angle right here. That's the angle between the tangent line and my secant line here. Does that angle help me with this big orange arc? It sort of helps, but that is not its intercepted arc. So my question is, can I figure out the other side of that angle?
Yeah.
Yeah? How do you figure that out? From 180. 180 minus 23 is? 157. Very good. So this angle is 157. And that arc that I have, that's its intercepted arc. You can sort of imagine, like, if that angle were to swallow up something, if it were to close, that's its intercepted arc, the arc that it would eat up. So they match here. Got to make sure you get them in the right spot. Is this a case 1, a case 2, or case 3? Case 2. The intersection is on the edge of the circle. So case 2 was the angle equals half of its intercepted arc. So so our angle is 157 equals half of 14x minus 22. Hello. Okay. Bye. Can you go to trainer?
Yeah, I need a homework.
Okay. All right, so this is our setup. How do you want to solve this? So you want to distribute the 1/2? Is there another option? Yeah. So you can do either. We can distribute the 1/2, or I'm just going to multiply both sides by 2 so that I don't have to divide. So I'd rather multiply. So 2 times 157 is 314 equals 14x minus 22. And then what should we do? Add 22. So that'd be 336 equals 14x. Divide by 14, 24. Good, thank you. Okay, looking at number 6. Is number 6 case 1, case 2, or case 3? Case 3. Case 3 says the angle equals 1/2 the difference of the arcs. So I need to figure out my intercepted arcs here. I have my angle right here. Then I need to figure out, here's one intercepted arc. That is, yes, we need to subtract from 360 first, because I need to know what this pink arc measures. So we, just like you said, 360 degrees minus 74 minus 86 is going to give me 200 degrees. So now I have my faraway arc and my near arc. So I'm going to set up my little equation here. My angle is what? 4x plus 13 equals 1/2. The far arc is 200 minus 86, the near arc. Far minus near. And again, all of this is just numbers. So I'm just going to do all that in my calculator. 1/2 200 minus 86, and I get 57 equals.
At this time, please release the JV baseball, please. Thank you. It got baited by myself.
Okay, but like, what we got down the line is like, the other events are we're gonna be on like third call. Later, cuz.
Grab the homework. You still have homework. You can also finish watching the notes. Goodbye. Whenever you get a moment, you may return your textbooks, yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and subtract 13, which would be 4 equals 4x, and then 11. Divide by 4, we get x equals 11. Beautiful. All right, do you have any questions so far? All right, so identifying cases, and then plugging in what we've got. Very important. So let's try a few more here. Number 7. So again, I'm going to take my time and label things, and that's a big part on today's homework. What we did yesterday is if we were trying to find something, we labeled it with an X. Okay, you're going to need to do that. If you want to figure out what you're trying to find, call it X. Today, this one, the measure of arc CB, so that's this arc, is 5x plus 41. And the measure of arc AD is 7x minus 19. And I want to find, I also have the measured angle AED. AED is 89 degrees. Okay, is this case 1, case 2, or case 3? Case 1, which is the angle is half the sum of the arcs, half the sum of the intercepted arcs. So what is our angle? 89. 89 is 1/2 the sum of the arcs. What are my arcs? 7x minus 19 plus 5x plus 41. 5x plus 41. That got a little smushy, sorry. All right, what do you want to do with this crazy 1/2? Multiply by 2, yeah. Let's multiply by 2 to the other side to get rid of that 1/2. It makes life easy. 189 times 2 is 178. And over here, I can combine like terms. 7x's plus 5x's is 12x's. Negative 19 and positive 41 is positive 22. And then we can subtract 22. That would be 156 equals 12x, which means divide by 12, we get 13. Are we done? No, we're not done. Plug it in. Yes, we want AD. AD is 7 times the x value minus 19, which turns out to be 72 degrees. All right, questions on that one? I think you'll find the back side of the paper is a little easier than the front side. All right, turn the page. We're going to look at number 9. All right, number 9. We have the measure of arc BED. That's major arc BED is 15x minus 47. And arc, minor arc BD is 9x minus 1. And our job is to figure out the measure of angle CBD. CBD. So I need this angle. I need that angle right there as we're trying to figure out. What can we do with this information? It equals 360. Yeah, we have this whole circle accounted for. So those things added up. 15x minus 47 plus 9x minus 1 should equal 360 degrees. That's the whole circle there. All right, 15x, 9x would be 24x's. Negative 47 and negative 1 makes negative 48. Equals 360, and then we need to add 48. Okay, so 24x, 360 plus 48 is 408. And then divide by 24, 17. All right, are we done? No. So we want to find the measure of that blue angle. What do we need to do? Okay. So the measure of arc BD is 9 times 17 minus 1. And that's going to give me 152 degrees. So this pink arc is 152 degrees. And what's the measure of our angle then?
76.
And you got that because it is half of that intercepted arc. So again, this is an inscribed angle, so it's half of its arc. The angle is small, the arc is big. So we're going to take that arc and divide it by 2. We get 76 degrees for our angle CBD. Okay, questions on that? These ones turn out to be the hardest for some reason, but let's look at number 12. This is the last one. All right, number 12. Let's see, DA, arc DA is 23x minus 14. And arc DB is 9x minus 4 degrees. And angle DCB, that angle there is 5x plus 11 degrees. Is this case 1, 2, or 3?
3.
All right, so case 3 is the angle equals half the difference of the arcs, half the difference of the intercepted arcs. So what do we plug in for our angle? 5x plus 11 equals 1/2 of, good. Good, so we do have to be really, really careful. Far arc, far away from the angle is 23x minus 14, but we have to subtract the entire orange thing. And this is where all mistakes are going to happen. We have to subtract every single term. So the best way is to use parentheses, because what do we have to do with this negative? Distribute it. Yeah, we have to subtract every single term. So we're going to do that. What do you want to do with the 1/2?
Or now you want to multiply.
Yeah, I would much rather multiply. We want to multiply. You do have to be a little careful. We have to multiply both terms by 2. I get 10x plus 22 equals. Over here I have 23x minus 14. What is negative times 9x? Negative 9x. And then negative times negative 4? Positive 4. So you have to change both signs. Really important because we're subtracting each term. From here we can clean it up. 23x's minus 9x's, 14x's. And then negative 14 and positive 4 is negative 10 equal to 10x plus 22. I'm going to subtract 10x. So that gives me 4x. And then I'm going to add the 10 to the 22, and that gives me 32. Which means, ooh, I get 8. I subtracted 10x, subtracted 10x. 14 minus 10 is 4. Yeah. Added 10, that becomes 32. So we get 8. All right, are we done? All right, DA, the measure of arc DA is right here, so I've got to plug my value back in. 23 times 8 minus 14 turns out to be 170 degrees. Okay. Do you have questions for me? I'm going to say one more time, when you start this assignment, write down, figure out what you got to find, and put an X there, so that then you can write your equation, okay? Use an X.